Hello, everyone. Welcome to the YouTube stream. This is your boy, the Fortress Striker. It has been a long time, very long time indeed. Sorry for the little wait. I had to adjust to the YouTube live stream since I'm not very much used to it. So I'm just trying to configure out some of these streams here, making sure everything is doable. Okay, just making sure this here shows how it works. So yeah, just let me double check one thing, and I promise I'll be right with you. Okay. I guess this is weird settings. Okay. So let's see. Hello and welcome. Okay. So the videos you saw is called the updated viewers. So if you guys have seen a lot of my posts here on my YouTube channel and some of my other social medias that I've been trying to do this viewership. So I have a lot to discuss about what's been going on with me. If you have been caught up to what I've been doing on Twitch, you should be up to date with some of the videos you have or have not watched. If you are new here, welcome. I'm going to do an update today because I have now reached over the 40 followers of Twitch, like I said before. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be going ahead and discussing on the matter of where I have been for about for a couple years. So it's something I made a promise because I need to have some certain goals. So the ideal. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to take it as best as I can organize, and as best as I'm gonna do. So we're just gonna do a discussion today, and I hope you guys can understand that a lot of things have been really tough for these last couple years for me and my family personally, and I just hope you guys understand. And I'm gonna try my very best here. So let's go ahead and begin. All right. So I haven't been posted a lot here on YouTube since late of 2023. I've been very busy with my old job, which was Skechers. I used to work there, and it was not the easiest job. I really hated this job. It was very tough, but I still had to pay bills and everything. For those who don't know, my grandpa passed away back in 2022, and it has been a rough time since because by the time he passed away, I was struggling a lot because he still helped us a little bit financially, but then I was worried, and then I started working in Skechers later in 2022 and continue on all the way up to 2024. And if you're wondering what that means, what happened, well, I was fired. Yeah, I was fired for some things that I did wrong. Not theft, nothing like that. Just didn't do the right procedure that it cost me the job that I'm not very proud of. But at the same time, I was trying not to wheeze out anything. I'm just trying to do my job. I'm doing what they always told me to follow the rules and everything. And it was not easy, to handle the situation because I'm just coming in one day, just doing the stock up shift, which I do enjoy. I mean, I hate getting up early, but at the same time, I just do it. And my shift was almost over like within the hour or half hour, so I'm trying to remember. And I got a call from the manager, and apparently I got a call from a corporate, and it was an unreasonable call to deal with at the time, and it just wasn't easy to go through. And I had to form and send an apology letter, which ended up becoming bullshit to the end. And I'm hoping like if we could learn something, if I could find a way to see if we can not process this, if we could see if we can fix this issue in a way, or I take a probation or anything, which is understandable. I just didn't want to lose the job for now. I just needed to keep working. I had to provide for both me and my mom. However, it wasn't the easiest thing to do, and I regret writing that apology letter, and it was the worst thing I did. So I ended up getting fired. And when I got fired, it was the toughest ride home from work. I had to take a lift because at the time my mom was sick, and getting home was the hardest. Opening that door and talking to her was the hardest. let her know that I was let go. I was upset. I teared up, and it was the most difficult thing to go through. And I always feared that somehow, some way, one day I will do something that I try not to do. I try to do my absolute best, but it wasn't easy. And that fear sadly came true. I always feared that since the first time I ever worked, but it was the hardest thing because I put a lot of pressure on my mom, or pressure myself. I don't know how to say this. I put a lot of harm. That's what I get to say. And I really try my best to get back. And it was hard to find jobs because where I live, it is not the easy to find jobs no matter what. And I kept looking and looking and looking. And in the meantime, we just got a new car. We just needed to start doing payments because we've been struggling to get a car to get around. Our old car broke down. We got lucky, but it got really difficult. And I told my mom, just do Uber Eats. It wasn't the best, but we had to do. We had to pay for the maintenance. We have to pay for food, which we barely got to eat little, and times I just didn't want to tell the family, at least until I got a new job. And there were a couple times that these interviews I was like this close, and it was paying better and it was doing well, but it didn't. It was terrible. Skechers was a terrible place. I wouldn't recommend people working there. And I've been working for Uber for a few months, and at the time we had a family member who moved out to move in with us for other reasons, but she got to move in with us, which was great timing, so she helped us financially, so we were doing okay. That wasn't until like around May. But unfortunately, by the time on the day before the 4th of July, which would be a 2-year anniversary for this one, as we got home, someone stole our car. They stole our car. We were having even making payments. Never saw that again. We were struggling more. Financially, it was the hardest time of my life. And I was hurt. I felt like I was in pain. I was angry, probably at God or something. Or like, if this is my punishment for what happened, you've done a great job or whatever. It was hard, and I was really hurt. This also happened like because my birthday's in July, so it's a few days before. Because yeah, it was the worst time, and a lot of shit was also happening that same year. Because one of our family members had lost a house because it got caught on fire, and we helped them. We were worried about it. It was a horrible year. 2024 was by far the worst year of all our lives, and I hated that year. It was far worse than 2022, and that was the year I lost my grandpa. 2023 I survived as much as I can, but we even recently lost a family member too, so it's not been easy for a lot of us. Months later, like I believe around September, I got to work as a temp job in my old college bookstore, and it was great. They actually offered said they wanted us to hire us, and I take the part time, and I was like, I'll take it. The pay wasn't great, but you take what you can take because there's not gonna be another job for me. And then sooner or later, by this holidays, it's gonna be hard to find a job. But it was hard the fact that the hours weren't great either because you only get like once or twice a day a week to work, like within like 4 to 8 hours a week probably. The job was chilling, I had nothing wrong with the coworkers there. They were very nice people. Just wish I had better hours, but when it's a bookstore, you're not gonna get much stuff done. Like they're buying snacks, or by the time when the semester starts, you gotta sell textbooks or do other things. You learn the job. And a couple times that I had to benefit got to work to go to the University of Miami, which is where if you guys don't know, I do live in Miami. We went to that college and to help them out when they were like doing their homecomings, inventory. It was a struggle, but they're very nice, and the people were so nice because they got to help pay for my ride because I tell them I had to take lifts since I don't have, like I said earlier, I don't have the car anymore. That's how I've been going to work. which, you know, cost me more money, but I take what I could take. I couldn't spend more money, and I couldn't help much with the bills. But later on, it took me a while until March of last year, I finally got a job, which I work in a hardware store now. But at least, you know, it does pay a lot better. The hours were decent, and I take what I could take, and that's it. And I was very happy. So 2025 was a new year, so everything started working out. And later on, my aunt moved out. She's moved back to one of her home, and then we got to take care of stuff. So I'm handling the bills again like I used to, and you know, I'm thankful that she got to help us because we were really struggling. It was a very difficult time, and it was so much pressure and so much anxiety that it was the hardest time for both me and my mom, but a lot for me as well. And there were a couple times I've been trying to get back to the YouTube, but every time I do recordings for like box openings, deck profiles, everything, I just wasn't feeling it. Still currently working on my hardware job, which is fine. So getting around to work, luckily it lives close by, way a lot closer than the last two previous jobs, because the job I work schedule is nearby the airport, because it was in a mall, and my school is not far, but it's not the easiest route to get there sometimes. But I did, you know, got an easier job, and I have a scooter now. So I ride my work. I would go to work in an electric scooter. So yeah, I go into the fucking sunlight heat. That's wonderful. I mean, I don't even care, man. I'm so used to it. It's just as long as it doesn't rain when I go to work or leave work, you know. If I can, I'm gonna have to take a lift, but because it was costing me more money to get to work and go home than it was ever for me to save up. You know, and we have struggles still, but we still get by. We have family members that still help us. You know, they've been great supportive. We've been through a lot worse in our lives, you know, and I can't, you know, thank them enough. Not easy, but you know, you do what you do, and all my friends are doing well. And one of my friends that, you know, the one who lost his house at the fire, you know, he's doing well too now. Now everything's starting to get better. We don't have to feel suffering, and I'm happy for that, you know, and I'm happy for everything. Now, meanwhile, I have been trying to come back to doing this. What I wanted to do is now that I told what my story is, I want to now go ahead and tell what my main goal now is. I've been working on Twitch, doing a lot of live streams there because I'm setting a goal to that once I reach 50 followers, I'm going to come back to YouTube and go back to doing the ways I used to do, just like how I used to do when I was part of the Yu-Gi-Oh community. If you guys seen some of my old videos, I do a lot of deck profiles on Yu-Gi-Oh with me, a couple friends, some other random players that we got to work with at one tournament, or just went to some regionals, or just for fun, which I liked. And I really miss doing that, you know, and I really want to come back to doing all that stuff again. And not just that, I also want to do reviews and everything back to the podcast. The podcast was the best thing that actually was that we were doing this channel, because me and my friends worked real hard discussing everything. Like we started with DBS and then we moved it on to like other card games, you know. But there's some been issues with the podcast that I haven't been able to. Like for example, my friend Gio, who was part of my co-host as the podcast show, who helped me a lot. I can't get reach him a lot because now he's working in a hotel. He works a lot of hours, so he's very busy. Not to mention where he lives is a connection error, so I can barely get a reach to him, and I don't even know when he's ever available. So it has been really rough. I don't know who else to talk to, and it's hard to do the discussion yourself when you don't know what you're going to discuss about the other card games without having someone who knows the profession and everything. So like anything with Bandai, he was gonna go work it up, and he has all the info because he looks it up. You could look it up on the, you can look it up, you know, anywhere on the websites, but it's just, yeah, it's just not gonna be there. But even so, we're still working our way. But I'll find a way because, you know, right now I'm playing Magic the Gathering. I'm no longer playing Pokemon. I'm still going to do collection. I'll still be updates with all the Pokemon stuff, so I will have discussion about it. But that's the best thing because that was the last set that we ever got to talk about was Magic the Gathering. We never got to talk about it. We weren't all big on Magic, but I'm doing Commander and I'm having a great time. I meet a lot of great people. You know, it's always a hit or miss because the community is always not that great, as many people say. But I don't think as bad as it was before. I think it was just very salty. But some people are still salty. But every card game is going to have salty players. We still try our best to go out and see what we can do. And I understand right now, like the life count's not doing much, but I'm still gonna give my discussion, respectfully. We are showing as much of a product we can to do the show, because, like I said, once I reach the goal, that's one of our main stuff is gonna be. I want to go ahead, make a comeback, and I'm gonna try in my power, whatever I can, to try to do at least 1 or 2 episodes a month with editing I have to do with recording with as many co-hosts and stuff and guest stars we're going to have in the channel. And the deck profiles, I'll come back and I'm going to do all the deck profiles from every card game as much as I can. And if you guys have any suggestions that you guys want to do your own deck profile, you could always send me a video and I'll be glad to do a discussion. I'm going to go ahead and you can send it to me on email. And once I'm clicking the email, you can go ahead and do it, so that we can discuss it. You could also check me on the social medias. If you guys have talked to me or a private message, I'll go ahead and guarantee to talk to you about it, and then we'll see what we can go from there. Now, it has not been, like I said, it's not been easy for a couple of years, but that doesn't mean the fact it's going to be rough. Right now, like I said, I'm still going to work on Twitch. And once I reach 50, I'm still going to do Twitch. I'm not going to stop doing that from there. I enjoy it. I do have a lot of fun. I also want to try to do the podcast channel, maybe more video feed like I used to, so it's more easier than to just do voices because the audio and whatever. And I'm going to do it my way. I'm just going to do whatever it takes, to let you guys enjoy the video product. And I'll do it however I want. If I want to have a small background music and make sure that you guys can hear us while enjoying some of the music, that's what I want to do. And I just want to go and do that, and see how far I can go here. Now I know it's not the best I could do for this live stream, but at least it's better than waiting and waiting and waiting. And folks, I want to tell you one thing. That from the bottom of my heart, I thank you very much for still supporting the channel, still caring for what's been going on this channel, because I've always felt like I'm gonna quit this channel a lot, just move on with my life, but I feel like I just want to keep trying again. But the timing has been so bad, and I know that happens to a lot of YouTubers who want to come back and do their content stuff again, but they can't because they just don't feel like the right time. They're too busy. A lot of problems is going on in their lives right now, when it's family issues or job issues or whatever. It's not an easy road, like I said, and I try whatever I can to keep this channel relevant. I've decided I'm also not going to do any more of the wrestling talk. I mentioned in an episode on podcast I was going to do the wrestling talk. I'm not going to do it anymore. We have so many wrestling podcast channels that I'm just going to let them do their own thing. I'm gonna do it in my own time. Keep this focus on card game stuff only, and then pretty much it. I'm not gonna, and then you get some extra updates like some other stuff happens. I want to go ahead and work my way. If I had to also make a goal when I do come back here, hey, maybe I might work my way up to 1,000 subscribers. I don't mind doing that. But right now I want to go and take my goal. We are very close, and I'm gonna show you right here because I am using my my Streamlabs to help me with these recordings. This is how I actually do my Twitch streams, and I'm gonna show you right here. Let me just show one thing here. Okay. Okay. All right. So you can see right here that I have been basically worked real hard on reaching on these followers. I am like 8 away. I met great people who've been very nice and supportive for the channel, and I worked my way up. I also been doing a lot of the EDH play games, where basically is a website where you can go and play Commander. You guys can go check it out. It's edhplay.com. All you gotta do is just join their Discord server, and then you can already go ahead and play the game for free. I'm also gonna try to see if I can do some Yu-Gi-Oh content. Maybe I can talk to my friends to come join us because it's a little hard to do that. But excuse me. But I'm not gonna do standard Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't like the current content that it's really bad, and I'm just not a big fan with their artwork cards, and it's garbage. I would try to do like Go formats, Edison formats, some old school formats I haven't done in a while. Like I used to play, so I could play up to like until the Arc V era where I stop. You know, and then maybe I could talk to see what happens. I'll show some other Pokemon stuff maybe, and then some other games we can do. You know, we're gonna work our way doing some of these old contents whenever I have the available time, and then work my way on some other projects I'll have in the future. I don't know what they are. I can't be 100% on it, but I really, really want to go and try doing this. You know, I just realized I just have this little thing here, so I'm gonna move myself out of the way. So as you can see, 42 followers, and everything I worked hard for, guys. You know, it's not just for me; it's for you guys who've been there supportive, and I really want to go ahead and do this comeback. And again, it really means a whole lot. You know, for those who are very supportive to the channel, I'm going to see what else I can do. If you guys do have any questions, if you guys have any other ideas of what you want me to do or what can we do, I mean, we can always talk it out, see what we have to discuss. You can always say in the comments section below, and I'll try to reply as best as I can, and then we're gonna see what we do next. You guys, and then I'm hoping maybe I can do in the future. Maybe if I have my set goals right, I'll probably also set up a Discord. But that's probably what I'm gonna work my way up if the podcast channel does well, and then we can have work our way to have it in a private server like we used to. But I'll make a new one, a fresh new one, so it's more focused on just the podcast channel, the YouTube channel, and maybe some Twitch plays and see what happens. You know, and I also want to thank my friends, my bestest friends in the whole world currently, who've been around, supportive, and been very kind to me to, you know, stick by, you know, deal with my jokes, deal with some of the things, you know, and you know, without them, I just feel like I was kind of lost. Now I got to hang out with my friends more and more than I used to when I was a kid, and it's been a blast. It's been great, you know, and I'm always happy to hang out with my friends, play card games, get my ass kicked, kick their asses, hope I can get a win. It's always been a great thing, and that's the best thing about why I like doing these card game ones and why I make this a card game channel, because I enjoy all the content, I enjoy all the fun, I enjoy everything that we all get together for, and especially talking to new players that join our squad, our table, and everything. You know, we always have a blast and hear their side of the stories. You know, I have a friend who basically has been playing since 2013. And then, you know, I really want to go and put him in the channel, and he has like great stories about some stuff in his past that's funny, that's interesting, you know, and he's very good at it. He's a very good, smart guy. He's IT tech and everything, and I hope to bring him in the channel soon because he will have a lot of fun deck profiles, and he's gonna show you a lot of combos, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck am I looking at? Why is this happening?" And I'll tell you what, this guy plays like an act. He doesn't run CDH decks, but he himself is the CDH. That's how you know he's really good. And it is a challenge. And no, I'm not playing meta commander. We don't do that. We just play commander for fun. You know, we want to play with no meta. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna say. I know I've been blabbing a lot and so far, but I hope you guys to understand that what the last couple years I've been through has not been easy, but a lot of game changers have happened in my life that I'm so happy to have right now. You know, I'm happy to have a job. You know, even though I'm always sometimes mixed with jobs, but it's okay. That's life. You know, I'm happy to still have my mom around because she's the best. You know, I'm happy to have my friends who always been around. make me happy. We always have like fun arguments and stuff, play games online, eat shit, whatever. That's the benefit of it. I'm God, I hate fucking yawning a lot. I'm very happy for all the people who help follow a lot. Here on YouTube, here on my Twitch, here on Facebook, Instagram, everything. It really means a whole lot to me knowing that people haven't just unsubscribed off the YouTube channel, because I wouldn't be shocked if it went less than 200 right now. But the fact that you guys still stuck around, still watch my old content, and hoping I can make a comeback, it means a whole lot to me. Just shows that why I want to come back, and I just want to do this for fun. I'm not gonna just try to like go crazy and make these bad. I'll try to do as best as I can. Like I said, I'll try to do at least maybe twice a month, but I'm probably gonna work with one because it takes a lot for the editing. I'm gonna try to do better editing software, see what I can use, and see if I can find better games to play. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch up the screen here. So this is pretty much what I'm gonna be discussing about. I know it's not big amount of stream. I'm not planning to make it a big stream. I just wanted to stream live to know that I'm not gone. I'm here and I'm still gonna be here. And I'm hoping that we can all still be here together, enjoying everything we do to make everything unique and fun. And with that said, guys, I'll go ahead and start cutting off the stream here. And I just want you guys to know that I want to thank you very much for the bottom of my heart for being supportive and everything, being patient, and to hear my side of the story. I know what I did was wrong, and I admit that, but at the same time, I feel like they also did wrong too because they weren't very smart about it. They just like see you as a number and an employment, and they just toss you out. If I can give you one advice though, always got to be very smart of the jobs you are. Like, don't do stupid mistakes similar that people have done. Be reasonable. If things aren't doing well, just try your best and then see if you can find another position or job, even though there's no jobs flying around. Just try your best, take your time, be very patient. I know it takes a lot out of you, and I know because that job drained the shit out of me. And every time I walked there, it just too much. I just couldn't handle that. Always have backup plans, savings, everything, and just be very supportive and see what you can do and be hear people out, see what happens, and then maybe a miracle can happen. That's all you can do, and just never give up. That's what I'm doing. I just really don't know what else to do, and I need to have set goals. And when you have a set goal, it makes you work hard. It makes you do something, because I feel like if you don't have a set goal or anything, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? You're just gonna waste your time in life. So that's why I'm working hard. I will be coming back, and if I can come back for this year, I'm hoping that the content's gonna be great. And if we do reach the 50, I will make a proper video. It's not gonna be a live stream, but I am gonna make a video, and we are going to have a good discussion and see what happens next. Now, I can't guarantee what's everything 100%, but we're gonna see what happens next, and we're gonna see how far we can go. So with that, guys, I want to thank you very much for joining me on this live stream on YouTube, and I really hope you all take care and have a wonderful evening. And I will see you on the Twitch here on twitch.tv/Fortress Striker. So you can go ahead and follow up to see all my content. I will be back doing it next week, right after my birthday. I will be, since I'm going to be off for the week, so I'll be joining you for a couple of nights to do some stream. You can go ahead and check out some extra posts everywhere here on the youtube.com/Fortress Striker, along with subscribing to help support. Check out facebook.com/TCG Party Podcast, so you'll be updated to know my streams, and as well maybe in the future of the TCG Party Podcast and other updates we're going to have. And you can go ahead and also check out the instagram.com/Fortress Striker. Probably not much, but it's the same thing as always. If you don't have a Facebook, you have an Instagram and everything. And with that, guys, we'll see you next time. I hope to see you soon, and maybe by the end of this month we'll get it done. And who knows? You never know when life takes you. So you all have a wonderful evening. You guys take care. I love you all, and thank you for hearing my side of the story, and thank you for being you. This is Fortress Striker, signing off.